I was in so much debt. I counted how many t-shirts I would need to print to get out of debt, and honestly, it was impossible. So I started to learn about the new construction game, and I started to look for a piece of land. I really didn't know much, but what I did know is that if I could copy what somebody else was doing, then I could minimize the amount of mistakes that I was gonna make. And so I found a builder, and he had a leftover lot. I found that one lot, I built that one house, and walked away with 6 figures of profit with none of my own money. Guys, I had a 400 credit score, $250,000 of different credit card debt. I got a hard money asset-based loan, brought on an investor that brought all the down payment, and I split the profit with him 50-50. At that time, I was working as a project manager, making $53,000 a year. I made $53,000 on that first build as a part-time side thing. Like, it was a no-brainer to me. When I realized that I could make that much money on one single house, it was game over. Here's the first step to doing it the right way: finding the lot to build on. Sounds simple, but 90% of people get this wrong. Either they buy land that's unbuildable, or they overpay, or they pick the wrong zoning, maybe the wrong location, or they put the wrong plan or layout on that piece of land, and it kills the entire deal. So let me break it down for you. The first thing you want to do is you want to find a piece of land that is 15 to 20% of the after build value. What is after build value? A lot of people know it as ARV, after repair value. It's really just the finished value of the home. So if you're building a $500,000 home, multiply that by 20%, you can pay $100,000 for that piece of land. However, with a caveat, you need to make sure that that land is buildable. That means, is there sewer, water, electricity available nearby, and how much is it going to cost to make it buildable? Whatever those additional costs are, you're going to want to subtract it from that land price. So if it's going to cost me $20,000 to get sewer, water, and septic on that piece of land, then I'm going to subtract it from that $100,000. Next step is checking zoning and setbacks to make sure that you're allowed to build what you want to build on it. And the house that you want to put on it is going to work for this piece of land. The way that we do that is very simple. We check comparables around the area, and we make sure that, hey, if there are 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath houses in this area, then that's what I'm going to build. Next, topography matters. If you build a sloped lot, guess what? That could cost you an additional $30,000 in foundation cost. So know what you are getting yourself into before you buy. That's all. It's simply due diligence. So how do you find these lots? Well, there's 2 really simple ways to do that: on market and off market. Let's start with on market. The way that you can start by doing this is going to Zillow or Redfin, or even the MLS if you have an agent that you're working with. They can show you what's out there, but to be honest, most of the good stuff gets picked up fast. What do I use Redfin and Zillow for most? Actually, to check how many houses are for sale, how many houses go pending, and how fast do they go pending. And I track those days on market to judge or to understand the health of a market. Most of my land, I actually don't even buy it on market. I buy it all off market. All right, option 2, off market. This is where the gold is. Number 1, you can go direct to the seller. You can drive for dollars, you can use bayonet signs, or you can even work with local developers who have extra leftover lots. We even help our students develop their own lots. That's where things get really fun. But ultimately, in the off-market strategy, what you're doing is you're reaching out to people that have property that's not listed on the market, and they're much easier to come to an agreement with. If somebody has owned a piece of land for over 10 years and has done nothing with it, and you give them a good offer, most of the time they'll take it. And when you're reaching out to somebody off market, there's less competition, 1. Number 2, you can come up with your own creative terms for the piece of land. And 3, you can even sometimes get a long-term contract and save yourself on holding costs while you get building permits approved. It's absolutely incredible. So many people say, well, why would I risk investing $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on building plans when they are risking, some people are risking and buying land for $120,000 cash, and they don't even know if it's buildable. But imagine you get a piece of land under contract, you get building permits approved, and then you only close on it when they're approved. Absolutely incredible, mitigates so much risk. This is how real developers and builders do it. If you get this step right, And if you buy the right lot, you unlock the rest of the 7-step system. Now you can move on to underwriting the deal, designing the plan, getting the financing, and actually start building. But if you mess this step up, honestly, nothing works. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to have a contractor's license. You just need a proven process. And that's what we've built. The exact roadmap that we've used to build over 200 homes and help new builders do the same. So step 1 is just finding the lot. It's just the beginning, but there's a full system behind this, from financing to permitting to the sales process. And if you want to learn it, here's your next step. Text YouTube to 360-216-0304 and we'll show you exactly on how to find your first lot and walk you through the full 7-step builder system. This isn't just a theory, this is the blueprint we're using right now in today's market. If you're ready to stop playing small and you're ready to actually build something, this is it.